Today, I'm going on a little bit of a rant. We're going to be talking about mainly the large portion of this video, all of it except for probably these first 2 minutes, about why Call of Duty is dying. In my opinion, this will be my opinion. So, none of this is factual. None of this is, I'm not pulling up stats, citing my sources. This is my opinion, what I think. From my point of view, the kind of player I am. So, if you hate my take or whatever, oh well, I really don't care. Again, my opinion, just what I see and why this game is dying. But before we get to that, I gotta show you, okay? Because this is, I'm having a dilemma right now. I think I just need to get it, so I'm gonna show you guys this. Before we even get to that, though, we do have Seattle Surge and Cloud9 New York about to start playing right now. The Ultra and who was it? Oh, the Ravens. The Ravens, they just got done playing Ultra 131. Actually looked like a really good series out of them. And the Ravens, I feel like now maybe, they proved me wrong and they bounced back again, but I feel like they're starting to fall into the role that everybody expected them to be in at the start of the season. And they just kind of exceeded expectations at the very beginning. Also, I need Nasty to perform today because he's in the starting lineup after he went crazy yesterday. So, Nasty, don't let me down, buddy. Anyways, we'll get back to that and why, caused time. But first, I'll show you guys. All right, Valorant, my store. Look what is here. Kuronami Vandal. I think I have to buy it. I think I have to, right? And this is depressing because I just bought another skin. I'll show you real quick. I just bought another skin. What was it, like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago? Where's the Vandal? Oh, here it is. Okay, look at this skin I bought. This one, all right. It's got the different colors. I love it. It's sick, right? It's sick. I love it. Not complaining about the skin one bit. But listen, the Kuronami Vandal is the one, I mean the one skin that I said I would always get if it came in the shop. And I only bought that other one because it was on sale and it was super cheap. It's, I think, $15 for it. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably never getting Kuronami. It's like, I'll get it. And here we are, however many days later, and Kuronami Vandals staring me in the face. $25 for it, though. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to get it. I have to, right? I mean, when am I ever? It's never going to be back, and I hate spending my money. I do. But this is the one. Like, I'll buy this and I'll never buy a skin again for a very long time until, I've got excess cash. Also, the Miss Bloom Sheriff is here. And the Miss Bloom Sheriff is also a very sick skin. However, that's not what matters. Okay, I have literally said I was going to get the skin forever. I mean, look at that animation. It is so clean. Let's check out the finisher. It is so smooth, y'all. I gotta get it. I gotta do it. Yeah, look, bro. Demo guy's cracked, by the way. Not in this one, but nowadays, that is a sick finisher, man. I gotta do it. We just gotta get it. All right, we did it. We spent $20. We're gonna get it. We're just gonna do it. Gonna get the skin. Gotta buy it. Buy once, cry once. I've said it before. Favorite that thing. Equip immediately. Go here. We are buying all of the variants. Oh, okay. Well, we need to get the sound of face. Animation, yes. And we want the finisher, yes. Boom. Now, get all the different colors. I mean, dude, this is sick. I did $20 down the drain. We did it. $20 down the drain, but yeah, this is the one skin that I said I would always get. And not gonna lie, maybe for my buddies, because we all love it. Maybe they'll play the games more now that I got it. Probably not, but I'm just glad I got it. I mean, check it, man. Look how sick this thing is. Oh my, yeah. It's so smooth, man. It is so smooth. Let's close out of that. Get out of here. Now we can get to the main point of this video. Why is Call of Duty dying? And again, just to restate here, my opinion, not actual facts. I haven't looked anything up. So, in my opinion, Call of Duty, there's a couple reasons it's dying. And I'm someone who loves Call of Duty. I've grown up on it. It's one of the first games I've played. Of course, you got your I feel like typical starter ones like Mario, Zelda, like something on the DS or the Game Boy, like stuff like that. But first actual console game was probably Call of Duty. It was either Minecraft or COD, right? Like it was one of those ones my brother let me play all the time on his Xbox. And so I've played it since I was 4 or 5, honest to goodness. And it's just tough seeing the state it's in now compared to everything I had growing up, right? I lived through the golden age of BO2, Black Ops 3, MW3. Like, those are my top 3 CODs right there. I think Black Ops 3 is the best COD ever. I used to say BO2 all the time, but honestly, I think Black Ops 3, like, the zombies is unmatched. It'll never be. BO3 zombies will be the best zombies ever, in my opinion. The multiplayer was, like, it's just such a good game. I still go back and play it today, and it's 10 years later. Alright, that's not the point. This is later, guys. I'm just, trying to provide a little bit of background so you guys can see I'm not just some new gen who is just now playing. All right, I played all the old COD. I've literally grown up on it since I was 5. So I'm 18. I played it for 15 years. I played the last 15 CODs, and I've played ones before then. Right, I played pretty much every Call of Duty except for 1 and 2, I believe, maybe 3. Other than that, I've played every one of them. All right, so I've been in the scene. I guess I'm just trying to make sure you guys know, like, this is legit. I'm not just yapping. As someone who is constantly involved in the community, I mean, I'm sitting here watching competitive COD right now. I got my FaZe stuff hanging right there, right? And I bought another FaZe jersey. Even like I'm actively in the COD community. Okay, so it's easy as someone who is active to just look past all these problems, ignore them, and not really worry about why the game's dying. Recently, though, at my apartment for college, again, don't know why, but for some reason, I'm able to play every game I want to, except for Apex Legends and Call of Duty, and those are like the 2 main games I play. All right, so I haven't really played COD. I haven't played it. I played it on the new season launch that they just had. Played ranked play when I was at home, not at my place, obviously, because I can't. I just can't. Again, don't know why. It just doesn't work. So I played it here, and I gotta admit, I had a blast, and I love Black Ops 6. I really do. I think it's a really good game. I think it's the best game, Call of Duty game we've had in years, 5 years, I'd say. That's not crazy at all. I don't think. I mean, think about the games we've had in the last 5 years: Vanguard, MW2, MW3, Cold War in the last 5 years. Was that 6 years ago? Dang, that is crazy though. The Cold War came out that long ago. Dang. Okay, well, you get my point. Like, it's not crazy to say this is the best COD we've had in a minute. I think it's the best one since MW 2019, personally. I also think MW 2019 is a very good COD. I think it gets way too much hate because it was really fun. You could hop on and play with any of your friends, have a blast. We personally, me and my friends, we play a lot of 6-man search and destroy. Okay, so play a lot of that in multiplayer, and I had a honest to goodness, MW 2019 is probably the most fun I've ever had playing 6-man search. Ever since then, it's just felt so plain, so stale. For example, we had 2019, then we had Cold War. All right, Cold War, it was fine. It was alright. We played it, we enjoyed it. And after that, we had Vanguard. We all know how Vanguard went. My friends hated it so much. I played tons of Vanguard on my own, just solo queued rank play forever. Like, I played a ton of it, hours and hours of it. But when we wanted to do 6-man search, we went back to 2019. We didn't go back to Cold War. We went back to 2019. That's what I'm saying. It's so good. We skipped over 2 games and went back to it, and we still played it. And we found lobby so quick. There's so many people playing. That's why I think you compare Call of Duty's numbers since 2019 to 2019, and yes, COVID, obviously, of course, everything went up. I know this, but the numbers were insane. You can't deny it, right? The numbers were there. Everybody was watching. Everybody was playing, and there has yet to be a game to match that level since then. And Call of Duty, I mean, not all games. So just skipping forward to BO6, right? You got all those years in between, but they just felt so plain and so stale, right? Because you had 2019, you had Cold War, then you had Vanguard, then you went back to Modern Warfare 2, and then you had a repeat year with Modern Warfare 3, which, yeah, they're different, but you basically just bought a $70, $80 DLC. That's what it felt like playing, genuinely. And so I had no desire to play it. Honest to goodness, I would play, but I wouldn't really be trying when we played, and it really wasn't my thing. I couldn't keep playing it. It was just boring. And then they released BO6, and I'm excited. Treyarch games are always they're the best in my opinion. This is my opinion again. They're the best. I love playing them. I love watching them. Just all around, I think they're the best. 2019 is the best Call of Duty outside of Treyarch, in my opinion. Again, I also love MW3, so that might be a lie. But in terms of general, I think MW 2019. So you come on with BO6, and you have people like me who are hyped about it, play it, ready to start, love it. I even got Dark Matter on this game. I'm telling you, I love playing this game. It really sucked me in, and I was playing it for hours at a time. Got Dark Matter, loved it. I still grinded, still played all the time with my boys. And then the inevitable happened, right? It gets around Thanksgiving time and then Christmas, and they're on that long month break. And before they're even on this month break, though, before Christmas, around Thanksgiving, that gap in between that month, the game's already dying. They already lost, like, I saw some stat. Don't quote me on it because I don't remember it exactly, but I saw it a while ago. They lost like 120 or 140,000 players from the first month of launch to like right after Thanksgiving / start of December, that time frame. That's crazy. How do you lose that many players in a month? They had no updates to the game. They didn't do anything about hackers. They still haven't, by the way. There's still hackers running their game. And so you look at this stuff and you wonder why the game's dying, right? All they do is put cosmetics out for you to buy, which aren't cheap either. But I mean, I literally just bought a $25 skin on or $20 skin on Valorant, so it is what it is. It's every game. You take some, you give some. But with that said, Valorant is a free to play game, and that's how they make their money. Is all of their cosmetics. Call of Duty is a $70 game. Used to be 60, by the way. Now it's 70 just for the base, not even pre-order. 70 for the base game, which most other games are like this as well. I get it. A $70 game, and you want me to pay for cosmetics on top of that? I can't be bothered. I truly just can't. They've gotten so used to just trying to take money and not actually updating their game, in my opinion. That's part of what ruined it, but that's not even close to the major problem. The major problem to me is just how stale every new game that comes out is. It's just a constant cycle. If you're a Call of Duty player, I'm sure you've seen the cycle before. New game drops, you get hyped for it, you play it for a month, game starts dying, developers go on break, gets taken over by hackers. It's every year, it goes in that same exact cycle. Every freaking year. And they don't do anything about it. It's been 5 years straight, I would say, that they've let that happen. You could even argue 6, because when they launched Warzone, hackers started taking over Warzone as well. So you could argue 6. But why would I have any desire to play the game whenever it's just being ran by hackers and I run into a hacker in every other lobby I play? I'm not going to want to play your game. I'm just simply not. It's not going to be fun. And of course, you go through spurts, right? I've talked about it before on this channel. Not anything to do with Call of Duty, but just in life, right? It's just human nature. You go through spurts. A little bit ago, I was on a chips and queso kick where I wanted it pretty much every day. And then you go on kicks where you play your 2-week Minecraft server. You go play Call of Duty for a little bit. Like, you get what I'm saying. You go on those kicks, right? And just last year, me and my friends, we went on a little kick where we just wanted to play Warzone. We didn't want to play any actual Call of Duty, right? This was MW3. This is the dead space between then and when BO6 came out. So just like this last summer. We didn't want to play the MW3 at all. But Warzone, yeah, we could play some Warzone. Rebirth, that is. Not normal Warzone. No Warzone now. Rebirth, though, is pretty fun. And then we get to playing. And it was a great time until you ran into hackers every other game. And then it was not fun. So then we had to find something else to play. Because who wants to play hackers every game? Nobody. Nobody wants to. But guess who does nothing about it? Yep, you guessed it. Activision. When you have this happening over and over, people aren't going to want to play your game. And yeah, I've pretty much just rambled about hackers to this point in this video, right? I've just kind of circled back to it every time. But that's a major problem with every Call of Duty game that has came out in recent memory, right? That's the problem. Moving on from that, though, okay, let's try and avoid hackers here for the rest of this video. What are some other problems? Well, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, they're all just stale. They're all copies, right? And understandable. How many different variants of Call of Duty can you make? It's gonna be impossible at some point to keep up with new things, new stuff. But you can go back to old things and you can do it just as good, if not better. And it's been proven. Okay, it's been proven with 2019. They went back to old stuff, but they made it better. They added slightly better movement mechanics. Of course, a little bit of different gun pool, gunplay, stuff like that. But the last time I remember really good maps being in games, really good gunplay, it was honestly MW 2019. I say that, but BO6, I also like BO6's gunplay. Okay, so again, I said it before in this video. I like BO6. I am a BO6 fan. I just can't play it, unfortunately, because for some reason my internet's tweaking. So I do like BO6. So I'm not. This isn't a BO6 slander video. This is just why COD's die in a recent history video. Just keep that in mind. But as someone who played a lot of six-man search, the last good S&D maps, like genuine good, like I would go play it right now. S&D maps I can think of, they're all 2019. I can name 3 of them off the top of my dome. Rammaza, Arklov Peak, which I think is one of the best search and destroy maps ever. Not gonna lie, maybe a crazy take, but it is really good for competitive, for casual, good. It was just a heck of an S&D map. Not a map for every game mode, but S&D specifically, it was super good. And then Hackney Yard. Those 3 S&D maps right now, really fun to play. Now, Hackney Yard was not in competitive for search, but Rammaza and Hackney Yard, or not Hackney Yard, Arklov Peak were both super fun. Enjoyed, loved both of them. In fact, I could even get my friends to play the CDL game mode on MW 2019. Since then, I can get them to try it, but that's about it. In fact, in BO6, there's a couple of them who won't even try it because it's that bad. And when I say it's that bad, I don't necessarily mean the game mode overall. I just mean like they don't want to play it because the hackers that we face. I remember in Cold War, we used to try and play, and then it literally got to the point where we couldn't for about 2 weeks because and I mean every lobby we got into, there were hackers. So we had to just quit. We gave it like 2 weeks. And I think they finally posted something saying they took care of it. Realistically, they didn't, but since we aren't the highest rank ever, we were able to play and only encounter a hacker every so often, if that makes sense. But now, if you want a decent map, they have to bring back old maps. Nobody can make a good map anymore. Nobody can make a good original creative map. And it just it sucks, honestly. It does. The best map on BO6 right now, again, my opinion, is Hacienda. And where's Hacienda from? Black Ops 4. And I'm talking in terms of a competitive map, not just any map. And also, they are playing on Hacienda right now, so it just kind of proves my point. And it's a shame, honestly, to see such a good game go to waste because Black Ops 6 is really good. Again, my opinion, I love it. It is a good game, but they are just wasting it. They're letting it go to waste by not giving it anything new, just letting all the hype die, letting it get ran by hackers. And so it's sad to see because Treyarch really did make a good game with this one. I truly believe that. So to see it all go to shambles like this, as someone who's grown up on Call of Duty, it's his favorite video game, and I've played it my entire life. It's sad to see, honestly, it is. But if the developers don't care, why should we as fans care? That's almost the stance that I feel we should all take on this, just because of how bad the last few Call of Duties have been in terms of concurrent players and just the state of the overall game. But still, again, I haven't even really dived deep into multiple reasons on why Call of Duty has been dying. I've only dove into 2 really, and that is no originality and hackers. So let's just try and encompass each game mode real quick. Campaign, I don't know. I don't really have much to say on it, honestly. I haven't played a campaign since 2019, and before 2019, the last campaign I played, I believe, was Black Ops 3. And I played 1, 2, and 3 all in a row. Played them a couple times, played them with my friends. Like, we genuinely enjoyed them. But up until 2019, we didn't play any. So I'm not saying people don't play it, because I know there's still plenty of people out there who play it. But the biggest communities for Call of Duty, I mean, each game mode kind of has their own, right? But there's the campaign community, multiplayer, and then zombies. And zombies has been done so dirty. Last genuine good zombies was Black Ops 4. Black Ops 6 is better than Cold War, and the atrocity of Vanguard and Outbreak and whatever else they did on MW3, like they literally just did Warzone but put zombies in it. Yeah, you're tripping, man. That is not zombies. But I try not to hate on those things too much because I know they're trying to revive it. They're doing their best, but again, nothing's gonna hit the same as Black Ops 3 zombies, in my opinion. And yes, I keep saying in my opinion because this is all my opinion, and I know everybody has their own opinion. They are going to disagree with the stuff I'm saying. They'll agree with a couple things, disagree with some. Like, it is what it is. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And actually, I believe that's a good thing, because it's good to see which, like, that the Call of Duty fan base has players who like certain things and other players who like other things, because that's kind of what brings it all together and makes the game as good as it is. If that makes sense. I know I didn't really say that the best way, but I think you kind of get what I'm saying. Because if I just want to play zombies over and over, which I used to all the time, zombies used to be what I grinded. Now it's multiplayer, and that's mainly just because zombies isn't as good, or else I'd still grind it. Because again, I said earlier in this video, I go back and play old zombies all the time. It is so fun. And so to see them not being able to replicate anything like that in 10 years, it's crazy. You've had 10 years and you can't make something that even resembles or is as good as that. And Black Ops 4 was fun too. I'm not acting like Black Ops 4 didn't exist, right? Played it. It was good. I enjoyed that zombies. But Black Ops 3 is just the best. It's the GOAT zombies, in my opinion. It just had such a deep storyline. It had so many good maps. I mean, you look at the majority consensus of, let's say, top 5 or top 10 zombies maps, half of them are going to be Black Ops 3 maps. And that's just the facts. That's how it is. I mean, Black Ops 2, yes, obviously had some goats. Origins, Mob of the Dead, and Buried. Oh my gosh, I couldn't remember the name. I was about to freak out. And Buried. Like, those three are good. Now, Mob and, oh my gosh, I just cut my finger. Oh no, yikes. Anyways, Mob and Buried, they're personally not in my top 5, but I know they're in a lot of people's. Like, they're good maps. I agree with that. There's not my personal top 5. So when you combine these great maps with great storylines and characters that people care about, it is going to be good. And that's exactly what Treyarch did. That's what Jason Blundell and all of the Zombies developers did on that game. And it's sad to see, because even now on Citadel des Morts, on the new BO6 Zombies map that they released not too long ago, it's just hilarious, because they literally had a developer who said they had never made a castle map before. Yeah, you're trolling, right? Dreisendracht, Black Ops 3, one of, if not arguably, the best map you have ever made. Yeah, man, like, they're trolling, man. This is what I mean. You have people on your team who don't even know about your Call of Duties, and you want to claim that it's getting better every year. Yeah. And since Black Ops 3, they haven't been able to replicate that same feeling with zombies, the connection everyone had to these characters, the in-depth storyline that everyone cared about, the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty. That was great. The Apothicon War, like, it was amazing. I love that storyline. I've watched countless videos on that. Mr. Roth Waffles, he's a goat, by the way. I've watched countless videos on understanding the storyline, all the cutscenes in order, anything you can imagine. I watched it. Since then, they just haven't been able to replicate it. So, of course, your numbers for zombies are going to go down. However, that's not the only reason, because zombies production overall has went down. The map quality gone down. The gameplay just in general gone down. I mean, you play zombies now, it almost feels like multiplayer. And I try not to hate on this too much, but ever since Cold War, why do we have health bars on zombies? Why did we take away the points per per bullet or per knife, per hit, whatever you want to call it? The feature where you can actually split doors, I do like that one. That one's actually very useful. But other than that, I hate the new point system. And again, my opinion, I know a lot of people will say they love it, but it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time just accepting zombies nowadays, unless it is like one of the old ones. And we have yet to get one. And I I would love to argue that majority of the community agrees with that, simply because we have not seen those numbers put up on zombies like they were in the early days since Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was the last zombies that actually had good numbers. And I'm barely even touching the tip of the iceberg on these complaints, if you want to call them that, on why Call of Duty's dying. And that's zombies, right? And that, again, I'm just barely even knocking on the door with that one. I'm barely even touching on it, and I can yap for however many minutes that was about why it's dying. Let's move on. It's not really move on, but kind of circle back to the campaign, right? Again, I haven't played campaign in years, so nothing much to say on this one. I think campaign, it's good to have it, but you need to get more people to play it. And you used to get rewards back in the day for doing it, for example, on Black Ops 1, you completed the campaign, you unlocked the Zombies Map 5 for free. All right, sick. That gives people incentive to do the campaign. Nowadays, you do it, what do you get? Like a pat on the back saying good job? I don't even know because I haven't done it since 2019. 2019 storyline actually wasn't that bad, but they brought back Captain Price and Ghost, two of the most prized characters ever. I love Soap personally, but Captain Price and Ghost, two of their biggest characters ever for Infinity Ward. Of course, it's gonna hit, right? Of course. And now they're just trying to milk it out too much. Not Infinity Ward, but just every Activision and Call of Duty creator. Treyarch, they brought back Woods and Mason in Black Ops 6. Like, you got to come up with new original characters. And yes, of course, everybody is going to be attached to the OGs, right? It happens in anything you think of in life, right? For example, the Spider-Man movies, the OG actors, right? Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. People love them, and they're like, Tom Holland's not as good, but they're all good in their own ways. Like, but people are so attached to the OGs. It's just the way it goes, right? Again, kind of that human nature thing. Like, people just stay attached to it. So if they could actually make a genuinely good campaign or zombies with characters people cared about, I'd love to see if they cared about them. And people debate, is the Ultimus crew just as good as the Victus crew? Like, people debate MJ or Jordan, or MJ or LeBron, who's the GOAT? I'd love to see that debate, but they have yet to replicate that kind of attachment to those characters. They've yet to replicate that good of a series for campaign and zombies. Now multiplayer. What's wrong with multiplayer besides hackers, no originality, like I've already mentioned in the first however long of this video. Without getting too in depth, multiplayer. I mean, there's a lot wrong, right? As someone who plays a lot of six-man search, skill based in Black Ops 6, I don't know what happened. It's not fun. But then you play MW2 and MW3, and the skill base is cranked. You win one game, and then you're going against a hacker and a six-man who are cracked. They're just straight up cracked. Which, yeah, okay, I get the point of skill base. Like, that's kind of how that's supposed to work. But I should not win my first game on and then never win a game the rest of the night. That should not be how skill base works. But Black Ops 6, you just don't lose, or we don't. We six-man, and then we just don't lose. Like, genuinely, we lose like one game in 6 hours of playing. Maybe. That's a crazy stat. But the crazy part is, I'm not bluffing. It is true, and it is so boring. And so, a couple of my friends actually hate playing it, me kind of included, because it's not fun. There's zero competition. It'd be different if the games were close. No, our closest game probably all night will be 6-3, or we'll have one slip up and go 6-5. Like, other than that, we're winning 6-0, 6-1, 6-2. It's just boring. There's no comp. And is it necessarily the skill-based issue? Maybe not. It might just be because the game is genuinely dead. The game is dead, and so nobody's playing it, and so we're getting paired against people who genuinely should not be paired up against us. So, skill-based, it was never in these old games, and I know, like, yeah, it's been proven that there was these certain aspects in play already, and so there really was skill-based, but nothing like today. Okay, cool. But why can't we just go back to that? You saw those were your best years ever as a company. Why not go back to that? Why not go back instead of sticking with this old system? I don't get it. Again, I've barely touched the surface on any of these subjects. On the subject of each three of the main game modes, on the subject of each subject. Hackers is probably the one I went most in depth on, or originality earlier. Those I probably went most in depth on those, and I didn't even go that in depth. So you can sit here, listen to me argue about these topics and why it's dying, and I'm barely even scratching the surface. That's what I'm saying. I can make a 3-hour long video complaining about the problems with each aspect of just every Call of Duty that's been out in the past 5, potentially even 6 years. So, and you're listening to me say this, and you're like, yeah, he's kind of right. Like, he barely even touched on these things, and like, there is a lot of problems, and I barely even touched on it. So imagine if I went in depth, how many problems we'd have. Like, it's crazy. The game's dying, but again, as a diehard fan, I'll keep playing. I'll keep watching. I'm still sitting here watching, as I mentioned a little bit ago. So I will keep watching. It's just so easy to look over all these basic problems when you're so involved in the community, I would say, that people don't want to look at them. They purposely ignore them, and they try to act like the game's not dying. But the harsh truth is, it is. And I don't want it to die, honestly. I want the game to get revived. I want the game to come back. I want it to be as big as it was during COVID. And again, I know it never, like, nothing will probably ever get that big just because COVID brought so many new people to every scene, to YouTube, to Twitch, to Call of Duty, to Fortnite, whatever the case is. It brought so many new people to every scene. So you might not be able to replicate exact numbers, but you still got games that popped off: Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, MW2, things like that. And we haven't had a jetpack game in how long? I think, what was it, Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare, whichever one came out last. That was the last jetpack game, and that was 8, 7 years ago. Not sure without looking it up. Black Ops 3 was 10, and then those came out. So I'd say 8 or 9 or 8. So why not try one out? I mean, it's been forever. However, I would love Treyarch to be the ones to try it out because I think their jetpack game was the best. Personally, I didn't really mess with Infinity Ward or Advanced Warfare. I just didn't find them as fun as Black Ops 3. So I went back and played Black Ops 3, and guess what? You can get on Black Ops 3 and still find lobbies to this day. I know that goes for most Call of Duties, but it's just crazy, especially in zombies, like I said. Like, Black Ops 3 is low-key one of the best. Just throwing that out there. I've yapped a lot. And again, I've said it multiple times in these last 3 minutes, but I'm barely even scratching the surface. I know you all know, classic picture of that iceberg. You got the problems up top, everyone knows, and then you got the underlying problems. And most of what I mentioned are at the top. They are just obvious problems that everyone can see, the everyday gamer can see. So it's crazy. The game's just low-key dead, which sucks because, again, as a fan, I want it to thrive. I want to see it do good things. I want to see all these numbers and people come back to it. It'd be really enjoyable. I just want to find my actual passion and play the game again. The most fun I've had was playing ranked, but it's because I was partied up with my friends playing. Can't go play with randoms. It would not be fun. So I'm gonna just quit yapping. I don't know how long I've been yapping for, but again, I've barely touched on anything, and I've yapped this much. That should show you how big of a problem Call of Duty's got right now. So if it sounds like I went in circles in this video and kept hitting on the same things, I kind of did because these are the main problems with Call of Duty that they just choose to ignore. So it's just the most obvious and easiest to talk about. So of course it's gonna get talked about in this video. Other than that, so let's just be done yapping. Day number 50, or not 57, 47. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay tuned for day number 48 tomorrow. I love y'all. Have a good rest of y'all's days. Hope you enjoyed the video. Also, if you're new around here, drop a subscription. I appreciate it. Drop a like on the video. Appreciate that a lot too. Love y'all so much. And maybe if I can get my money up at some point, maybe I can actually record me playing Call of Duty. That'd be pretty sick, not gonna lie. Anyways, that's not gonna happen for a while. Probably not enough for another 1 or 2 Call of Duties. So thank y'all for watching. Love y'all so much. Have a good rest of y'all's days. Peace.